Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS authentic real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now, your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back. It's Tim and Julie Harris, and this is, of course, your favorite daily real estate coaching and training podcast. And we've got a great show for you today. It's called the 5-Star Agent Blueprint: How to Master Reviews, Reputation, and Results. And we are going to be sneaking in a little bit of information for you about how SEO and how all this stuff is going to be working in the era of AI, because I've got good news and I've got bad news for you when it comes to that particular topic, and we're going to be sharing all that with you here momentarily. I'm going to start out by reminding all of you, if you've not yet subscribed to our newsletter, harrisrealestatedaily.com, make sure you subscribe. It takes 2 seconds to do. It's free. The link is down below. Or you can click the link below, or you can just go to harrisrealestatedaily.com. All right, Julie, let's not delay. The 5-Star Agent Blueprint: How to Master Reviews, Reputation, and Results.
Yes, well, consider this. What if a buyer or a seller doesn't already know you? Hopefully they do, right? But what if their friend recommended both you and another agent, and they look you up online? What will they find? What if a for sale by owner is finally ready to list? What if that expired seller who was disappointed by their last agent is now going to do all that homework that they figured they should have done in the first place? What's going to happen if they look you up? Your online reputation can make or break your next deal. So this blueprint today shows you how to build a flawless reputation, protect it from online damage, and turn it into a competitive advantage. Make sense, Tim?
It does. I'm messaging you something, Julie. Check your mic. So I'm going to start out by telling you guys something. There are a lot of folks that are fearful about AI and SEO and all the rest of it. And a lot of the folks that are really panicking are the ones. There's two groups of people I've noticed. They're agents that have invested a lot of money and time into SEOing their website and all the other stuff, which in its era made a lot of sense. And then there's the companies that sell SEO services to real estate agents. So the reality of it is that both of those agents are going to have, or both those groups of people are going to have to radically change fast, because what we've seen happen in the last, 10 months is almost a complete evisceration of Google as the go-to search result that most people are using, even to the extent that Google is now using Gemini, which is their AI. And all these different AIs, they're going to be using a different set of criteria, which, by the way, we don't even know, nobody really knows, to determine what search results are. And it's not going to be because you were able to game all the little things that happen with SEO. It's not because you were able to figure out the backlinking and all the things. So all the rules that have been in place for, frankly, since the internet came around with regards to search engine optimization, effectively, they're going to be obsolete, I would say, within the next 6 months or less. And if you're not focusing on the things that we're going to share with you today with regards to, and tomorrow, by the way, with regards to SEO, it's not called that, but for AI, you're going to miss the boat. I'm going to give you a little advanced player tip right now. Don't even delay. Get your, go to Grokipedia, and you're going to have to essentially, I'm not going to walk you through how to get it set up. It's very simple, actually. Just go to Grok and then ask Grok how to go about, it's in the outline, Julie. Okay, good. I won't step on Julie's point.
You're skipping ahead again.
She's barking at me in the comments. Yes, but we're going to talk about that in a second. So the moral of the story here is that if you feel like your competitors have had an advantage because they spent a lot of money and time on SEOing all their, when you search your New Albany, Ohio, and your listing doesn't, search result doesn't even come up to page 2. It doesn't exist. So if you're not top 10, it's going to be largely ignored. And if it's not top 5, it's largely ignored. And Google did that by design because they want more people to pay for ads, which always go on the top, right? It's all basically leading back to making money, which makes sense. If you're a business owner, you do the same thing. But all of that is going to be essentially hard reset. It is happening right now. So it is a level playing field for the first time and probably since 1990, since probably 2000, I'd say 1997, 1998, when SEO really started to take off and become a thing. So great news if you've not yet done it. Bad news for those of you who have, you have to redo basically everything. But guess what? This time around, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier because you're not going to have to figure out the whole black hattery of figuring out
Or
SEO.
refigure it out,
Yeah,
right?
or refigure it out. Your mic sounds a lot better. You're going to, it's because AI is going to do most of it for you. So get ready. All right, Julie, I don't want to step on any more of your points, so I'll stop
That's
bantering.
okay. That's okay. And all of this is evolving, of course. So the first, as usual, we start out with official point number one is a mindset point. And we're talking about reputation today. Build a reputation worth talking about. Start by being the agent that people rave about, not because of luck, not because of SEO, but because of skill and systems. Things that we teach in coaching, like always following the 7-step listing system, whether they know you or they don't. Offering powerful, unique selling propositions like your communications guarantee and your above and beyond search guarantee that you get an ethical real estate professional. And practicing always, of course, furiously fast lead follow up. All of these core skills are taught by our Harris certified coaches inside Premier Coaching, but these are designed to help you operate at the highest professional level so that people want to write reviews about you, so that you get those organic referrals. Remember, consistency creates your reputation. So as we often say with the coaches coaching you, don't have different rules for different people. So point number one, we had to start out with, be somebody that lives the life that you are trying to portray online by providing that great service. Does that make sense, Tim?
It does, but she's leaning into professionalism here. That's really what she's talking about. If you want a way to differentiate yourself in this new world, the way to do it is truly by being a professional. Pre-qual, learn how to proactively lead generate.
In real life is what I'm saying.
In real life, learn how to pre-qualify, have a very impressive pre-listing pack, have an organized listing presentation, have an organized buyer presentation. That's going to be the next level. And I know that some of you feel threatened by this, but don't be. If you've been successful in the old market using old, methods of lead generation effectively, you'll be wildly successful now. It honestly is almost impossible to fathom how massive the changes are going to be with regards to AI, with regards to lead generation, all these other things that we talk about. And I've been telling everyone this, and it's true. It's okay. Like, I'm listening to a podcast called Moonshots. You guys should listen to it as well. I'm learning a lot from it. And Julie and I are reading constantly, but I'm going to tell you the bottom line. It's early days to be over-investing yourself in anything AI. I've been telling all my personal lead coaching clients, don't waste time trying to understand it or figure it out or try to be first user advantage and all that. None of that stuff's relevant because it's changing so fast. What's going to happen, maybe this year still, but certainly within the next 6 months, is you're going to be able to plug into your very own AI agent, and it's going to act as your super assistant that's going to do almost all of this for you. And so you're wondering, well, how is someone going to go about finding me online? How are people going to be able to differentiate my brand from another? And there's only one answer. And by the way, there's only ever been one answer. It's the listing agent who's going to win. It's always the listing agent who's going to win. I mean, what would Zillow be without listings? What would any brokerage be without listings? So you're going to have to learn how to be a listing agent, because then you're going to have all the advantages in the marketplace that SEO literally can't buy any longer. All right, Julie, let's go on to point number 2.
Yes, ask for reviews the right way. After a successful closing, for example, ask your happy clients to share their experience immediately while their enthusiasm is high. I've been talking to my elite coaching clients, Tim. You should interview yours as well. How many of them go to live closings? Not all of them. I know, like, for example, in California, the closing is kind of split up and a little bit different. But I would say probably 80% of agents do go to their closings, the roundtable closing, or even if it's a split closing. And if you're somebody that does that, by the way, you should be somebody that does that, because that's a great way to connect. That's when they're happy. They're getting the keys. They're signing off. They've been waiting for this day. But even so, even if you're doing it all on DocuSign, there's a lot of waiting. This person signs, then that person signs, then we go over this document. And there's always that downtime. That's a great time for you to ask for reviews. So I included in the notes, I don't know if you told them about the newsletter, Tim, but in the newsletter, we have both how to get a Google review. I think this is in part 2, how to get a Google review step by step. I won't go over all of the steps because they can get it in the newsletter, but you can do that. I would take an iPad or your laptop to that closing and do it on the spot. Now, some people like to do it old school with paper. They have a form to fill out. They say, hey, while you're waiting for the other side to sign, just jot down 3 sentences for me and give me permission to use that as an online review. I think it's either Google or Yelp. One of them makes the person do it from their account online. Like, you can't have it written and then translate it and do it yourself.
I wouldn't use Yelp because Yelp invites
Yeah.
too much garbage.
Google's better, right?
But Google, but just in general, actually, what you're saying makes sense. But the best thing to do, the easiest thing to do, Julie, is just grab your phone and have them give you a live video review right
Yes.
then and there when they're happy. That's the easy
That's
button.
coming up as part B of point number 2.
All right, well, go for
Addendum
it.
Julie B. Anyway, speaking of which, bonus on the
Is that
spot
your
video
rap name?
testimonials.
Are you thinking of a rap name for yourself? You're Julie
I
B.
know,
Oh no, better be careful. That might
might be.
stick. Go ahead.
Exactly. And one of my indexes. Anyway. Okay. So bonus on the spot video testimonials. Capture genuine moments right at the closing table or at the final walkthrough. So ask, would you mind sharing 20 seconds how your experience was working with me? And record it vertically on your phone. Keep it natural, keep it conversational, keep it on the fly. You don't have to have a whole bunch of production behind it. And then with permission, post it to your Instagram Reels, your YouTube Shorts, or your testimonial pages. Video reviews build instant trust and engagement, giving potential clients a reason to choose you over anyone else. Back to you.
Well, I mean, but the bottom line is the video reviews. That's where the money's going to be at. That's the long tail, using an SEO term. And so, for example, what we're trying to understand about how AI is going about deciding what information it's going to tell you is that it does seem to use a lot of the, let's call it Internet 2.0 data, the reviews, the Google reviews, the Yelp
It's got to
reviews,
pull from somewhere, right?
right?
Yeah.
The Zillow reviews. So that's what it seemed to have been doing prominently, essentially 6 months or 12 months ago. Like when you went to, ChatGPT or whatever, and you put in a question, it seemed to be referencing only the same surface level stuff that you would have done had you been searching on Google yourself. But now what's happening is it's doing something completely different. It's going and taking all the data, all the search results, all the questions that people have asked. And then, so for example, I'm looking for the #1 real estate agent in, New Albany, Ohio, or I'm looking for an agent to help me buy a home in New Albany, Ohio. Google would have gone and, given you agent lists, agent profiles, 5-star review agents. That's not what AI is doing. AI is going to look at all that data, and then it's going to go and essentially search out what else it can find about you, how long you've been in real estate. It's going to, because it's going to tell you all that. Well, Julie Harris has been in real estate for 27 years and she sold this many houses, and these are the reviews she's had. And then what it's going to do is it will reference, though I have noticed it doesn't put that much value on your own personal website. So what you need to do is you need to make sure you should have all of you hopefully have a YouTube channel. And on your YouTube channel, you can just have that be where your reviews live. And look, I know YouTube videos don't want to spend the time to do it. That's fine. Don't worry about it. AI is going to start making those videos for you. But it does seem like what AI is doing is it's watching the videos and reading the transcripts and using that data. So if it's a video it's watching and there is no transcript, it's knowing what's being said, and then it's using that information as part of its response to whatever your question is. Do you guys get it? So it's a completely different world that's more complex. It's not so black and white like it was before. It's like asking somebody for advice. If I asked Julie for an advice about, I need a realtor in New Albany, Ohio, she's not just going to go, oh, according to Google, there are 5 agents in New Albany, Ohio that are 5-star review.
Right.
No, she's going to tell about her personal results. Well, there was Betty, who I know is a great agent. I heard a lot of good things about her, and she, contributes a lot to this charity and involved in the schools. And then there's Sally. So Julie's going to pull from multiple places that are complex. And that's who she's going to suggest, that, just like you guys do. If I were to ask you for a reference for somebody, right? That's what AI is doing. You guys see the difference? Do you understand? So the idea that you can just go and build a Google profile and you can put up a bunch of reviews and that's going to, win the game for you, that by itself used to work. It isn't going to work in the future. And the future is now. All right, Julie, let's get to our next point.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to turn the tables just for a second because we know that you guys sometimes have to deal with this. Point number 3, how to handle negative Yelp or Google reviews. So the first thing is, I know, I've heard agents and I've seen them online. First thing is they freak out about it. Of course, you get mad about this. The first thing is to not panic. You're going to handle it like a professional that you are. Step number 1, respond quickly but calmly. Acknowledge the issue without arguing. You don't want to escalate it because a lot of times when people post negativity, they're baiting you to escalate. So you don't want to do that. Step number 2 is to move that conversation offline. I'd love to resolve this personally. Please contact me directly. Or how may I contact you so we can talk about this? Step number 3, you can report reviews that violate platform policies, and you want to be specific. Is it fake? Is it spam? Is it from a competitor? Is it off topic? Is the content inappropriate? There are platform policies that you can find, and then you can report a negative review. And then step number 4 is try and balance it out. Of course, you're going to ask for satisfied clients to leave genuine recent reviews to push down the negative ones, because you're going to have to wait for a response, et cetera. So, and something that was suggested to me by my AI as an additional point, don't pay for review removal or fake positives. Authenticity always wins. I know that there's companies that spam realtors saying, I can give me $500 and I'll remove negative reviews, stuff like that.
I'm going to give them some advanced player tips on this one. First of all, the problem with all these review sites right now is they're corruptible, if not corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because they make money not from positive reviews, but they make money from negative reviews. If you go to Better Business Bureau, or if you go to Yelp, if you go to any of these websites and you have a negative review, they will charge you money per month. That's how they make money. Their financial incentives are not in alignment with yours, then to essentially suppress that negative review. And I've seen plenty of, go to YouTube and research this. I've seen plenty of research that's been proven that the negative reviews, if you're not paying one of these platforms to essentially give you preferential treatment, always show up at the top. Someone can leave people can leave 20 positive reviews, but if the five negative reviews get more reads and eyeballs, and those are the ones that's going to put on top, unless you become a paid subscriber, and then the positive reviews are going to get preference. I'm sorry, that is corrupt if you ask me. So
it's a little scammy if we're being honest, right?
It is scammy. It's the thing that you guys should Google this. Go to YouTube, right? Or use AI, but search to find about the problem that the coveted Better Business Bureau got in, the trouble that they got into. It wasn't even that long ago. All these other review sites, they make their money by basically essentially charging. When a small business owner gets a negative review, they go in panic mode, they whip out their credit card, and then they pay the platform to try to suppress the view or suppress it. No one's paying a platform any money because they have too many good reviews. You guys understand what I'm saying here? So if you are here's a cool thing. There were, if you guys will remember, I'm going to tell you guys a little story here, and this is a true story. Research it yourself. Do you remember Open Door and all these other instant offer companies, Julie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they had so many bad reviews on Yelp in particular that it was just dominating even Google search. So Open Door went to, and I think it was Open Door and another one, honestly. They went to the owners of Yelp, and they said, I think Google, actually Zillow. This story had to do with Zillow. So they went. They were one of the board members. They shared board seats or some complicated thing. I think Inman wrote an article about this. Actually, it wasn't Inman. Now I'm thinking about it. This was probably about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Long story short is Zillow went to Yelp. If I have my facts wrong, forgive me. And because there was an inside relationship, got Yelp to completely remove the Zillow instant offers or whatever it was called reviews. Like Zillow didn't exist. The instant offers widget didn't exist on Yelp anymore. Now, I researched it. So how did they actually make that happen? It's because, and remember I told you this, and this is true if you're an EXP agent, because if you're an EXP agent, I would not have any sort of listing whatsoever on Yelp because of the fact that I just told you why. Because they want negative reviews, and it's even questionable whether the negative reviews are real. I don't want to get on a soapbox here, but
that's a good point though, because there's no way to prove whether that's a real person or not. But go ahead with your story.
Well, there is no way, because again, there's no reason for example, like there are plenty of companies that will just bouncing here a little bit, that'll charge you for views and for comments on your YouTube videos or get likes and all the rest of it. Now, in Facebook, the same thing. These platforms know that those are bots that are basically viewing and liking and getting your view count up and all the rest of it on YouTube. Well, why is that happening? Why don't they just completely something that watches for 10 seconds and leaves some, weird comment is probably fake. It's probably a computer, right? So they know it's happening. They can tell it's happening. This is the thesis anymore. It's called the dead internet theory. But what they're doing is they're actually allowing those comments to happen because they then can sell ads on those videos, because the financial incentives for YouTube and the rest of them are for them to sell ads. That's the reason they make so much money. And if there's bots that are gaming their system, but it's to their financial benefit, well, guess they're not going to have much of a financial incentive to stop it from happening. Research this yourself. You guys have already suspected this is going on. Well, you were right. So back to if you're an EXP agent, and I had several EXP agents that had been attacked. Okay, follow me on here. You can actually, I don't want to give you too much more information on this, but this is what actually can happen. There are people who are very unethical who will hire someone to go and launch a bot attack against you online, on social media, on the comments, giving you negative reviews, and they're all fake. So you can actually hire people to be essentially shit tossers onto your competitors for you. Okay, totally unethical.
That's a thing. Yes, I know.
It's a
They're
thing.
like, really? Yeah.
Right. So I have had coaching clients, dominant in their market coaching clients, who've been attacked randomly, and they know that they're fake comments because they have, blah, blah, blah. No relation to reality whatsoever, but a casual reader of the reviews are going to assume they're legitimate. And for you to get a review removed from Yelp in particular, it is a complicated, expensive, and time-consuming legal process. It's not just filling out a form. You actually have to file something, finding out from a Yelp who actually posted the comment. You have to do that legally.
You have to spend money just to find out who it was. That in itself is crazy.
They'll then tell you the IP address, which is the thumbprint of somebody's computer that actually made the comment. And then you have to call or have your attorney effectively threaten to sue the internet service provider, whoever the local internet service provider is, to tell you then who, not just we know that it was from Comcast, but we don't know the individual subscriber. You guys get the point here? It's a freaking nightmare, and it's easily gamed. So I would suggest you just completely opt out of all of it because it's such crap. There it is. Now, back to why this matters. If you are running a virtual business and you do not have a physical location, that is, and Yelp cannot have a review site for you. So if you are an EXP agent, because it is a virtual real estate brokerage, and you do not want a Yelp page, which I would not want a Yelp page if I were you, I would say that Yelp needs to you need to tell Yelp to remove your page, because you having a page because you work at EXP and it's a virtual real estate brokerage is a violation of their own terms of service. Open Door, whatever the names of the companies are, did just that.
Because it has to be a brick and mortar business, correct?
It has to be a brick and mortar location. It's a local business review. And if you guys go right now to, even if you do use Google and you do a search, you'll see all those, corrupted review sites are now not even showing up sometimes, or they're showing up on the second or third page, because that's what's in essence happened is it's all these things have made these, let's make a review site where people can, Angie's List or whatever. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. And then guess what happens? It gets corrupted over time, and then, party's over. So I just fire hose you guys with a bunch of information. But if you are fighting negative reviews, the easy button is going to be to get off the platform. If it's possible, not even allow that platform to have any profile for you whatsoever, because it really does invite potentially, at the very least, unethical behavior from competitors, or it's questionable as to whether or not the platform itself is even putting up negative reviews on you, so that you then will have to spend money.
Yeah, it could be completely manufactured, because how would you know without spending money?
Exactly. You wouldn't. So keep all this in mind, guys.
I knew that would kind of get you down that road, but I think you're overreaching. I mean, we have several points here, but one of them is it's better to have no profile on Yelp than to have nothing but bad stuff that you have to fight, even if it's only one or two things. It's crazy. It's a super distraction. I hate when agents have to go through that. So there's some tips for you. Okay, moving on to number 4.
So counterbalance it. Just sorry, Julie. I think I'm summarizing some of your points. But do video testimonials. Do put those on YouTube. On the titles of the videos, put 5-star review for Tim and Julie Harris. Always have that. And then what's going to happen is if you get off those other platforms that are essentially where you're being reviewed, then the only thing that's going to come up when someone does research on you is going to be your YouTube videos, and they're going to be watching it. And then you're going to control your brand, and that's ultimately what all you should be doing. So the best gaming of the platforms is to not play their damn game at all.
Yeah, and don't just take it from us. I mean, don't spend the rest of your afternoon on this, but there's plenty of evidence of this on, I think, pretty much all of them. It's Yelp is probably the worst, Better Business Bureau is up there. So do your own confirmation bias there, but it's absolutely true. Okay, so let's move on to a hot topic. And I know that you and our staff have been researching this. So this is one that will evolve. We will eventually get this into our Premier and Elite coaching as a specific how-to. So right now, here's the topic, point number 4, how to get a Grokipedia page. That's GROK for those of you who are still not in the AI world, and why it matters. So it's Grokipedia, GROKI-pedia.com. That's Elon Musk's new AI-generated encyclopedia designed to be a less biased, constantly updated alternative to Wikipedia. Having a Grokipedia page can give you instant credibility and help potential clients find accurate, verified information about you. So, Tim, you can go over these points because I know you had a conversation today, but as of yesterday, this was the how to pursue a Grokipedia page for yourself. The first is to search for your name on Grokipedia. Again,
Julie,
make sure you spell it right. Go ahead.
Jules, there's so many details here. Let's just leave this to the newsletter readers.
That's fine.
So you guys it's point number 4 in the newsletter. Subscribe.
But talk about why they would care about Grokipedia.
I will.
Because you've been studying that.
Right. Go to harrisrealestatedaily.com and subscribe. All right. So here's what's ultimately happening. Wikipedia has essentially become, let's just say, a collection of very biased sources of information that it does appear that the AI is starting to largely ignore. And it's a closed box. And that's so what Elon did is he is doing Grokipedia. And what Grokipedia is the essence of what a real, essentially, trustworthy source of data, what it's going to be. So what happens is that when you're submitting, it's not just like setting up a profile on LinkedIn or something. You have to make a suggestion. You have to suggest a page, and then they have to accept it. And then their AI Grok goes out and does a search for you and sets the page up. And then users can go and submit, as long as they're approved editors, can go and submit changes to the page. Julie and I wrote Harris Rules, best-selling book. We wrote another book. The page needs updated, things like that. And that's like a lot of the stuff that hasn't been happening on Wikipedia. It just basically is outdated, obsolete. And so the reason I'm going to suggest that Grokipedia is a good source. Now, just do keep in mind, you can't really get very far with this. You're going to read on our notes when you go to harrisrealestatedaily.com. You can only suggest a page. And Grok is catching up. Grokipedia is catching up with I think they had 800 or 900,000 profile pages that they're having to build, that their AI is having to build. It's extraordinary. But Elon, I mean, he's going to have, this is going to be the best of breed. So from what I can observe, it seems like Grokipedia is going to be a very trusted source for AI to do searching. And here's something else I'm going to share with you guys. AI, there are ways to write articles, and there are ways to write even descriptions for your YouTube videos that are designed specifically to be AI friendly. And I'm researching exactly what that means. That's about as close to AI SEO as you're going to get. When I know more information on that, I'm going to share it with you. People are just starting to figure it out. And it might change in 2 weeks. That's the reason I've been keeping my yap largely shut about it, because again, this stuff is moving so fast. But I will suggest all of you write on your list of things to do to get a Grokipedia page. And the information on how to do that is definitely on our newsletter, harrisrealestatedaily.com. Point number 5, keep your name everywhere, but keep it consistent. Ensure all your online platforms like Google Business, Zillow Homes, all the places where you'll have, Facebook, obviously, display the same branding, headshot, contact information. Consistency builds familiarity. Familiarity builds trust. And I'm going to tell you this because that's a really good point, Julie, is that AI looks for inconsistencies. It looks for things. When you ask, I'm looking to hire Tim and Julie Harris to list my house in New Albany, Ohio. What can you tell me about it? And then it'll give you a basic, it might hop on our website or might go someplace and give us a basic profile, nothing information. And then you say, well, you do better. I want to know a little bit more about them. Give me some more details. And then what it's going to do, it's going to go and start looking for inconsistencies. It's going to look to see, well, okay, Tim and Julie have been married for 34 years. And then but it said they've lived in New Albany, they've lived in Austin, it's going to look for, it seems like they lived in Austin from this to this, but I found this other source where it says they've lived from this to this, right? You guys get the point? So when you're going about setting up and cleaning up any of your errant profiles, Julie just gave you the cheat code for it. Just make sure everything is very consistent. The same brand, the same logo. Your name appears
Pictures.
the
Some of you guys that are running teams have changed your team name 3 or 4 times. So consistency is important. And just, ask your AI to look you up and see what it finds. We used to say, go Google yourself, but
Yep.
look it up on AI and then do the upgrades and have a look and feel that's consistent, including your name and your picture and everything else. Okay. So why does all this matter? Our conclusion, of course, is convert your reputation into referrals. That's point number 6. Once you've built a 5-star reputation, then it's your job to leverage it. Of course, keeping it updated all the time, but include your top reviews in your listing and buyer presentations. Use short review quotes on your social media, your email signature, and remind your past clients, if you know someone who could use my help, I'd be honored to assist them. You can send a testimonial. A lot of my coaching clients have several like mini links on their email sign off, which are their testimonials. So you have to actually use it and continue to get it out there. Anything you'd add to that, Tim?
Look, guys, we're going to do our best. And Julie and I are actually having a hell of a lot of fun. We were talking the other day that we haven't felt, and I think you guys have been able to tell on our podcast, we haven't felt this excited, this motivated, and this focused for the real estate industry in probably at least 10 years, honestly, because the market has changed so fast in the last 36 months. But what's happening now, what we're about to experience as far as the explosion in the real estate market going into 2026, and you combine that with AI, what you're seeing is combined synergies. It's like two big megastorms, even more than that, are all coming together at the same time. So you've got AI, which is going to essentially superpower all of us. You've got the real estate market, which is going to give us a lot of opportunity. And then you essentially have these two storms converging into one mega storm. And that's going to create maybe storm's a bad analogy now I think about it, given that we live in Puerto Rico and it's hurricane season. But what I'm trying to express to you is that we are all about to experience a combination of things. And, I can even expand on that, but I won't for the sake of time. But there's going to be so many amazing things that are going to be at your fingertips that you're going to be able to take advantage of. Never done any social media? Don't worry, AI is going to do it for you. Worried that you're not going to have a financial plan that's going to make sense for you as you grow older? AI will create it for you. Not really sure how to, all these things. It's going to be like you have a team of the highest paid, experienced business professionals really ready for you to help you at any time. We're taking all of this to our coaching business. We're going to create for you literally 24/7 personalized coaching with probably Julie or myself as your personal avatar. And we're going to listen to you. You're going to turn us on. We're going to be listening in the background as you have conversations with folks. We're then going to coach you on maybe an opportunity or something that got by you that you weren't quite listening. Our avatar is going to look at you while you're talking, and it's going to sense by listening to you and looking at you. It's going to look for micro expressions. It's going to listen to any inflections in your voice. It's going to, be connected with you on a very personal basis. And the underlying, essentially, relationship you're going to have with Tim and Julie, our avatars, is going to be that of a very, very high level, performance success coach. And if there's some health things that you're going to want to talk about, well, we're going to be able to talk about that. But our primary focus is going to help you to be in action, making money, helping people buy or sell real estate. You're going to be able to do the same thing in your real estate business, and we're going to show you how to do it. As we learn it, we're going to show you guys how to do it. Be very, very careful of anybody that's positioning themselves as being an AI expert right now. Even the true AI experts aren't AI experts. They're just completely being rug pulled almost on a weekly basis. Like I said, listen to that podcast, Moonshots. The guys that he has on that podcast are literally the best AI people in the world. And they're like, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, it is very interesting to see it all evolve.
Well, it's because so anyway, I don't want to nerd out any more than I already have. So I think, so here's your homework. Sign up, get into our newsletter. And by the way, we are doing our mastermind. So if you've not attended one of our masterminds, you love this podcast, Julie and I completely drill down on our masterminds. They're about 2 hours long. We are going over in great detail the 3 biggest challenges that our agents are having in their real estate businesses and how to overcome them. And you definitely want to be participating in the mastermind. It's free. Just go to harrismastermind.com. In the meantime, thank you for all your 5-star reviews. And if you've not yet given us a 5-star review over on iTunes, it would be certainly something we genuinely appreciate. All of you existing Premier Coaching clients and members of our EXP revenue share group. Make sure you're logging into Premier Coaching and you're attending the daily semi-private coaching sessions. We've upgraded everything, of course we have, and the feedback we're getting, especially about the daily semi-private coaching, is incredible. We really love the higher level of participation all of you guys are enjoying. In the meantime, have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow. Hello, thank you for having watched this video. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right, and don't forget to hit that like button, leave your comments and questions below, and we will get right back with you.
Thank you for watching this video, and remember to watch the next one. You're gonna love that one.